Council, Calexico Redevelopment Successor Agency / Calexico Financing Authority special meeting agenda for Monday, December 9th, 2019, in 2019. It's approximately 5:30. We begin. Go to closed session. Call to order.
Mayor Hodge,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Romero,
Here.
Councilmember Arriola Fernandez,
Here.
Councilmember Risen,
Here.
Councilmember Pacheco is absent. We have a quorum, Mayor.
All right. Is there approval of, do we approve the closed session?
Usually not.
You don't, right? That's a typo.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So, city clerk, do we have any public comments or public appearances?
No.
All right, nobody's out here. All right then, very good. So let's adjourn to closed session. Good evening, everyone. We're going to start now. It is 5:40. 6:42, excuse me, I get my time right. Okay, call to order. City Clerk, roll call.
Mayor Hodge,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Romero,
Here.
Councilmember Arriola Fernandez,
Here.
Councilmember Risen,
Here.
Councilmember Pacheco is absent. We have a quorum, Mayor.
All right, very good. All right, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I'll lead you. Hand over the heart, ready to begin. Thank you. Mr. Dale, would you be kind enough?
Together, we pledge to provide effective and efficient services in a courteous and respectful manner to improve the quality of life for all in our unique border community. Viva Calexico!
Invocation?
Now I'll just lead the invocation in Spanish. Señor, te queremos dar las gracias esta tarde, Padre, que podemos estar aquí enfrente de tu pueblo, Señor. Te pedimos que nos des esa gracia para poder tomar las decisiones correctas, para poder dirigirlo tu camino, Señor, y poder darte toda la gloria y la honra. En el nombre de Jesús, damos las gracias. Amén.
Thank you. You may be seated. City Clerk, I'm sorry. Let's defer to our City Attorney. Closed session announcement, City Attorney.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yes.
City Council met in closed session, received direction on the two items, but took no reportable actions. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, sir. May I have approval of the agenda? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second by Councilman Morris Risen. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Passes unanimously. City Clerk, announcements.
These proceedings may be viewed on the City of Calexico website at www.calexico.ca.gov the Friday following the council meeting.
All right, very good. Thank you. And now we move on to presentations. Tonight we have a presentation on the Parks, Recreation, Beautification, and Senior Services Commission activities by Susana Favela, Chairperson. Would you please come forward? Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you. Hello?
Is it on?
It is?
Yeah.
Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Hello, good evening. My name is Susana Favela. Good evening, Council, Mr. Mayor Hodge, David Romero, City Councilman, Ms. Fernandez, and Mr. Risen, Mr. Campos, David Dale, and Mr. Figueroa, and City Clerk, Ms. Garcia. My name is Susana Favela, and I'm the chairperson of the Parks, Recreation, Beautification, and Senior Services Commission. I was appointed on January 11th, 2017 by Mr. Pacheco. The following are our commissioners: Gabriel Duron, Carmen Estrada, and Mr. Jesse Garcia. Some of the projects that we have following, I left little documents for you. Sorry for the rest of you, I did not leave pictures of our thing. Some of our current projects going is the Adrian Cordova Memorial Park. We held a meeting on 7/10 to get the feedback from the community. We also have the Heber Park expansion project and the community center and community center park. Grants have been submitted by the Public Works, Ms. Lillian Felomir, and she has received information from the Office of Grants and Local Services informing her that we're still in the running for these grants. But we are in a competitive process competing with other cities in the state, and we will be informed in the early year of 2020. Hopefully, we'll be able to bring this to reality for our beautiful city. I just would like to thank for it's been a big privilege being on this commissioner and serving this, actually being born and raised here in Calexico. It's been very good for me. I really enjoy it. Thank you. Is there any questions?
I had promoted a few years back the Senior Services Commission.
Okay.
Can you tell me if anything is going on with that specifically?
Well, I know they're having crafts coming up on Wednesday. They're having a craft fair at the community center. Also, they had the Thanksgiving dinner that just passed a couple of weeks before Thanksgiving.
Okay,
We've also had, I know they're having another one on the 18th.
so activities.
Yes, a lot of activities still going on, and those seniors are very active, and it's really good to see the seniors active, especially some that have already retired and have somewhere to go.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Any
Anyone
other
else? Questions? Comments? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Susanna. Okay. We move on to public comments and public appearances. City Clerk?
This is the time for the public to address the city council on any item not appearing on the agenda that is within the subject matter jurisdiction of the city council. The mayor will recognize you when you come to the microphone. Please state your name and place of residence for the record. While members of the public are encouraged to participate, it is unlawful to disturb or delay the council meeting with personal or slanderous remarks. If the item you wish to comment on is on consent item, please comment now. The city council is prohibited by state law from taking action or discussing items not included on the printed agenda. If the item you wish to comment on is in the public portion of the agenda, we will take your comment when we get to the item on the agenda. Please direct your questions and comments to the city council.
Okay, thank you very much. And so we welcome your public comments. But just remember, I will tell you when your 3 minutes are up, so just give a summation or finish up your last sentence when the 3 minutes are up. Okay, who do we have?
Mr. Kim.
Mr. Kim.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. They call me, I always feel critics, so I'm gonna do it again for my job. First of all, the Ardian Cordova Park, when I was council, we funded 2013. Still, 6 years not been doing nothing. Please speed up. And my written statement is that the city still has major financial problem. You increased our water bill, hurting the people of the Calexico, and the water quality is bad. What is the problem is that you had canceled the last Wednesday regular council meeting because lack of the quorum. But you called special meeting at 12 in the last Wednesday, and you are buying farmland with our money without the backup documents. So council members are not interested, hold the regular meeting, but buying the farmland. Now under this agenda, you do not have mentioned what you did last week. If the city is the real estate business, who will take that land is interested for the later. You also had a special meeting to discuss the lack of the electricity for new project. why don't you tell the public that we have electricity capacity problems in the city of Calexico? You should worry about the old substation in Calexico rather than trying to pay for the new substation for cannabis. Why are you hiding that you do not have electricity for the cannabis growers? Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Mr. Kim. Okay, next.
Victor Legaspi?
Hello, everyone, council,
Hi.
attorneys, city manager. I'd like to take this opportunity to bring up a program that's coming up on December the 18th, this coming Wednesday. It's called Kids and Badges. It's an event that we've been doing for the past 16 years, all started by Chief Mario Sanchez and continued on with Chief Gonzalo. As you all know, Kids and Badges is a program where we take underprivileged kids to have breakfast at Denny's, free breakfast from Denny's, and then from there, we will parade them around and take them to Walmart, where Santa Claus comes down in a helicopter. Oh, wow. Yeah, I guess the reindeers were out of service that day. I was told by one of the elves on the shelves. So it's at 8 o'clock in the morning, December the 18th. It'll run till 12 o'clock. There's going to be entertainment. I heard that there's going to be a famous guitar player performing that day. He might be wearing a uniform. It's a surprise. Please don't tell anyone. I'd like to thank Chief Gonzalo Gerardo for being very supportive. He's always been there for not only the police officers, but for the kids, especially for Kids and Badges. He's always been a mentor to the kids, that every time they went to the police department, he's always been there for them.
Okay.
Not only a mentor for the kids out there, but a mentor for us police officers. So thank you, Chief, for continuing with this program, and hopefully we will continue on for the next 100 years. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sergeant.
It's an excellent program, event. It's an excellent event. Okay,
Pedro Ortiz?
Buenas noches. Señores, hace un año, el día de ayer, fue el siniestro del Santo Tomás. Hace el 8 de diciembre, no sé, yo creo que se les ha olvidado porque todavía no lo han puesto en una agenda directa con el público. Y independientemente de las negociaciones que tuvieron que hacer con la familia Martínez, o con los administrativos del Santo Tomás. Aquí lo más importante es ustedes, 5 miembros del concilio, que mi cuestión es con ustedes, es con quien yo tengo que hablar, para que ustedes hagan su trabajo y realmente cuestionen, obliguen u organicen a los administradores de la ciudad. Señores, ¿cómo puede ser posible que lo único que hemos logrado en un año es la exportación de 45 vendedores al tianguis de los perros? Y ninguno de ustedes 5 realmente ha ido a averiguar. Señor Romero, hace 15 días, directamente se lo di a usted, la sesión pasada que estuve yo aquí, usted dijo que vengan, háblenme, yo me presento, yo le hablé. Usted quedó de ir a mi negocio a hablar conmigo. Nunca fue. ¿No están en campaña? Ahora que se avienta a reelegirse en el IID, ¿va a volver a estar en campaña? ¿Va a volver a prometernos que nos va a cuidar, que nos va a apoyar, que va a ser nuestro representante? Ahorita estás dejando el barco de algo que no has arreglado, de algo que no has cumplido. Yo no voy a confiar en ti, yo no tienes mi voto. Y yo creo que la mayoría de la gente no va a tener tu voto por esa razón. No has cumplido, ni siquiera rápido te estás bajando del barco. Y se los digo directamente, y te lo digo con una buena palabra, y sin intención de que se ofenden porque son muy sensibles los 5. No me extraña, se supusieron ustedes entrarle al toro, cobraron la entrada para que los vinieran a ver, Y ahora se les hace muy grande el toro. Les da miedo decirles a los administradores, señores, soy representante del pueblo. Tenemos que organizarnos, el pueblo se está muriendo. Señores, quédense sábado y domingo, no se vayan a Mexicali, ¿ok? Quédense a Mexicali a ver qué solo está la ciudad. Está abandonada, no hay nada. ¿De qué me sirve que haya gente en los outlets si ese dinero no se queda en la ciudad? Ese dinero se va a otro lado. La California ya no abre los domingos. Yo compraba ahí mis productos cuando me faltaba algo. Ya no abre. ¿Por qué será? Porque no hay clientela, señores. La gente no está en Calexico. La ciudad es una ciudad de paso nada más. Y ustedes no están haciendo nada para revivir la ciudad. La calle Segunda está abandonada. Yo no sé qué película ven ustedes. Si lo que quieren son paleros que vengan y les aplauden, pues les va a salir más caro todavía. Van a tener que pagarle a más gente que venga y les aplauda. Señores, salgan y vean a la gente.
Mr. Ortiz, your time is up. Please
Gracias,
finish, sir.
señor. El tiempo de ustedes también se les va a acabar, señores. Gracias.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Medina?
Good evening, everyone. Arturo Medina, 2301 Nixon Avenue, council members and administrators. I've got a couple. Can you hear me? No? Okay. There? Okay. We got a couple of issues, actually a long list. One of them, again, I'll repeat it. I brought it up the last time I was here. The need for a stop sign at the corner of Nixon and Meadows, 2301 Nixon and Meadows. I brought this issue first back in 2013, I believe, and then again in 2014. I sent emails to the council members back then, including the chief of police. It hasn't been placed. People, this is close to a park. People go speed at that area. And there's a need really for stop signs and for speed bumps. I also noticed that they've placed already a couple of stop signs near the corner of Meadows, and I don't really see a need for that there. There's more need where I'm located at. Brought it out to Mr. Hodge a couple of times also. He said he would do it. So far, it hasn't happened. I would also like for the board, for the council members to bring back the water rates issue. I brought that up a couple of times. I would like to see that. And there's also, I think the water bill needs clarification. I've been paying extra just so that I won't get behind on the bill, and but it doesn't tell me whether if it's whether if I have credit or not. I've written on emails, and they've answered in the past. But I think that the bill needs to be to make that clear. The other one also is Jasper Road. I'm not sure if it belongs to the city, but that road needs repairs desperately, especially the corner of Bowker and Jasper. Trash at the basin of Bowker and Cole. I brought that up also. People are dumping logs, sofas, you name it. There's public access to that. There's off-road vehicles going through there, which I think it's been vandalized. So I'm bringing up that issue because, I mean.
Mr. Medina, your time is up.
Is it
Please
up?
just sum it up, sir.
All right. No, that's it. I just wanted to bring those issues. I
Thank you
think they're
very much.
important.
We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, if we have any. That's all? Okay. Let's move on now to city council comments. Oh, yes, who wants comments too? Who does? They put them all on one. Oh, okay. That's what I thought. Okay,
I got 2 items on there.
welcome.
Good evening, members of the council and the public. My name is Luis Casillas, 420 East 5th Street. I am one of the officers that was reinstated 2 months ago. I've been on your payroll now for approximately 2 months. It was supposed to be a smooth transition, but at this point, nothing has been smooth. My pay rate at one point was incorrect. It's been fixed. I just got word from the chief of police that he's going to take care of some other issues that they didn't take care of as my vacation and comp time. But more so than that, I've yet to hear from the city or my attorney. Our attorneys reached out to your attorneys, which is Liebert, Cassidy, and Whitmore, about a week ago in reference to my back pay. It's just a quick reminder. You do owe me about $600,000 to $700,000 minus my earnings for 5 years. And before the money runs out, I like to get paid. You say you're in good financial standings. Well, let's cut out the check and let's get with it. I do agree with Mr. Ortiz. He's got some good points there. Tiene razón, señor Ortiz. Esta ciudad se está muriendo. No hay gente y no han hecho nada para atraer negocios. Y es muy triste. 20 years ago, when I got here, approximately, this city was booming, growing. Had about 48 police officers, close to 50. Now they're down to 22. Something's not right. But that's another story. That I just need to get paid. So, an email was sent out from the firm, and the email said that the city was compiling a list of information that they needed from me. Well, the only information they need from me is my W-2s for my earnings, which I submitted about a year ago. So, how do I know that you owe me about $700,000? Because the last guy that came back to work after you unlawfully terminated him, that's how much you owed him. And I surpassed the amount of time that was out. I actually hold the record now for being on that. Okay? So, it's interest. It's my full pay. You have to make me whole. Vacation, sick time, holidays, and everything else. If you can help me get through this transition and facilitate some of these issues for me, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much, Mr. Hodge.
Thank you.
Members of the council.
Thank you, sir. Okay, that's it for public comments. All right, we move on now to city council comments and reports of meetings attended. Go to my right, Councilwoman Fernandez, do you have any?
No, I don't have anything.
Okay. Councilman Romero?
Yes, last week, Mr. Mayor, we had the opportunity, the city manager and I, to attend the SCAG event in Los Angeles. Had the opportunity to hear a couple of boards, and more than anything, the focus is on what we can do, how we can better our city, in particular with in the transportation side. Heard about some great things that could possibly be coming down to the Imperial Valley that would impact on a regional level, but that's still in the works. But with that being said, I want to address a couple of the comments that were made, and I'm going to ask with all due respect that whatever I say, I don't want to hear anything back in return, just like I kind of professionally work myself right now.
No, it's your turn to speak, and the audience doesn't rebut.
So when we heard, I'll just start one by one, and I'll start with the first one. In regards to the substation talk, that was a talk that was a meeting that was not actually created by City Hall, nor its administrative team, nor its council. It was something that IID put together, and Calexico happened to be the host. Why? Because we do need a substation, and not so much just for cannabis, but for all industrial and commercial activities and residentials as well. Our city has been growing, our substation has not, and it's not a lack of power, it's just a lack of distribution. And we've been trying to work with IID and with some private entities to be able to meet those goals. In regards to the other comments, you know what, you're right, Mr. Ortiz, y le voy a hablar en español. Disculpa, como hombre te voy a decir, sí, yo fallé a la Junta por razones que le había mencionado. Y primeramente, no vivo en Mexicali. Mucha gente ha dicho que yo vivo en Mexicali, no sé de dónde sacan esa idea, pero nomás lo quiero decir para que todos sepan. Con esa misma manera, yo sé que se observó que lleva un año de la tragedia del Santo Tomás. Yo me acuerdo muy bien porque yo estuve ahí hasta las 3 de la mañana ayudándole a los bomberos, ofreciendo cafés, ofreciendo ayuda, sin necesidad de tener que pedir que me tomaran fotos ni que me dieran halagos ni gloria, porque no lo hacía por eso. Segundamente, señor Ortiz, con mucho gusto nos encantaría poder negociar con ustedes, pero lamentablemente ustedes, los comerciantes de Santo Tomás en su momento, no son los dueños. Lamentablemente no podemos hacer eso con ustedes. Todo lo demás exhaustamos, creo que sí, tantas maneras de poderlo hacer, y lamentablemente no se pudo llegar a nada con sus debidos dueños de esa propiedad. Y por nosotros sí nos quedamos con, o sea, no nos quedamos con los brazos cruzados, simple y sencillamente con las personas que se deben de tomar estas acciones no se pudieron tomar, señor Ortiz. Y eso es lo que tratamos de decir desde diciembre que pasó el incidente hasta junio cuando se cerró.
No, no dialogue.
Entonces, nomás, básicamente, es lo que quería decir, nomás. Sí sigue abierta mi puerta y como le digo, señor Ortiz, me disculpo por no haberle respondido y no me voy a ningún lado, no me voy a postular para AID División 4, me quedaré aquí mis 4 años y si Dios quiere me reelegiré para seguir sirviéndolos más a ustedes en Calexico. Gracias.
Thank you.
I have no comment at this point.
No
because
comment?
I just piggyback for what Councilman Romero was saying, so no comment.
Thank you, Councilman Risen. I have just a couple. Mr. Risen and I, we decided, and we've talked to Mr. Figueroa, and Mr. Figueroa is going to help us, but we want to put together just giving you an outline, a Santo Tomas ad hoc committee. Now, this ad hoc committee's purpose is here's just a few reasons, to foster mutual positive relationships between the city, Santo Tomas owners and vendors. 2, to act in good faith to address current grievances or issues and try to correct them. And 3, to examine and understand the new swap meet ordinance. Those are just a few purposes, and there'll be many more. So we'll be contacting certain individuals about this ad hoc committee. And the other thing is just to invite all of you. This is important for the kids, your family, your children. We have join us for the Calexico 2019 Christmas Parade next Saturday, December 14th. Starts at 10 a.m. The parade will start on the corner of Mary and 2nd and proceed down 2nd and end at Crummett Park, where in collaboration with the neighborhood house, we will be offering food and drink and be giving away free bicycles to a select amount of deserving children. So I hope to see you all there and all the city council members also. It's important to attend if you can make it. And that's all for me on the city council comments. So now we go to city manager's report. Mr. Dale?
Thank you, Mayor. Councilman Romero, you touched on a few things I was going to talk about, but
I got the properties, Mr. City Manager, too.
On the IED substation, it's no secret we need an IED substation, but that is outside of the city's control. However, we can try to find some funding solutions. And as echoing what you said, the substation is not for one particular type of development. It's for the entire north side and northwest and northeast side of Calexico. So we're sort of on a standstill right now on development until we get that substation built. So it is very important. That's why we hosted that meeting here, to try to find some solutions on that. In terms of Cordova Park, yeah, there is money there. It's not enough money to build the park if we were to bid it out as one big project. It's probably like a $6 million project. We've got about $2 million set aside for that project. We're kind of on hold right now because we put an application in the state for funding. In fact, we don't want to do anything that would cause that application to fail, so we want to wait to see what the results of that application are, and then we can start moving forward again. We do hope to get the irrigation going soon so that we can get grass growing by, say, March and April, that's when you put the seeds down. So we want to have that ready for March and April, at least the grass and maybe the fencing, something like that. But we certainly don't have enough money to move forward on that project as a whole. But if we do it one piece by one piece, we can. Like if we have the restrooms built separately and then, but not as a big project. So that's what we're kind of looking at to see how the funding comes through, and we'll move forward on that project as soon as we do.
Very good. Mr. Figueroa? No items. Okay. So that takes care of city manager's report. We move on to consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve consent agenda items number 4 and 5?
Motion to approve?
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, very good. Now we move on to discussion and potential action items. City clerk? Oh, no, I'm sorry, that's so long, I thought that was yours. Okay, let me go to it.
Want me to read it, Mr. Mayor?
No, it's okay, I got it. Okay, this is long. Adopt a resolution of City Council, the City of Calexico, California, declaring restriction of vehicular and pedestrian traffic through the public alleys located between Rockwood Avenue and Heffernan Avenue and Rockwood Avenue and Pauline Avenue between First Street and 2nd Street, necessary for the protection and preservation of public peace, safety, health, and welfare, and restricting the same by means of gates installed at the Rockwood Avenue entrance to the alley between Rockwood Avenue and Pauline Avenue, and at Rockwood Avenue and Heffernan Avenue entrances to the alley between Rockwood Avenue and Heffernan Avenue. I hope you're able to follow that. All right, any backup on that, Mr. City Manager?
Essentially what this item is it's a resolution, not an ordinance. So a resolution means that it'll be, correct me if I'm wrong, City Attorney, but in effect, if approved, tomorrow morning.
Okay.
We have the gates there, and we have the locks ready. Can't lock it until we have that resolution.
Pretty much that would help us, like the stench and
The urination.
the urination, the defecation, sometimes the improper use of drugs in those alleys would probably make it easier for our police, and they can also just focus more on raiteros and more, issues in downtown, I'm assuming.
I would like to thank Councilman Risen to he's pushing this, the big one,
Yes.
pushing this one.
Yes.
Thank
Big
you,
kudos to
Councilman Rison.
Councilman
Long
Rison.
time coming. Thank you.
Okay. Any other comments?
Public comment?
We have a public comment, sorry.
Mr. Kim?
Mr. Kim.
I was suspecting these actions, probably to the community, but I suspecting to Brown Act, breaking the Brown Act violations, or city manager do whatever he wants to do without the city council approval. It's fact already been set there without the city council approval. I'm so sorry without the council approval. But then means they already have approval without the meeting. That's what city manager did. So, it's everything. City of Calexico right now, so what they making decision? Let's kill first, and then we find the law innocent. That's what they're doing. They already did, and they just trying to put the ordinance to the complying on those. You must have enough time to put on the agenda, approve it, to do it. It was not so urgency in order to, nobody said, life is talking about it. There's no urgency. They could do it in the proper way. So lots of things like cannabis, electricity, lots of things, what the city council making decision, they already did what they've done. It shouldn't be like this. I suspecting the city council members breaking the Brown Acts, or city manager doing whatever he wants to do it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kim. Any other public comments? No, thank you. Okay, I've said the subject, I'm not going to repeat that again. So is there a motion for this particular resolution?
I make a motion that we approve it.
All right.
So moved.
And second by Councilman Romero. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Is that, did you say aye?
Yes.
Okay, all right, it passes unanimously. Moving on to agenda item number 7. Adopt a resolution amending and updating Resolution 2009-74 to include increasing the annual tow service provider franchise fee and tow company fees by the Calexico Police Department. Is someone, okay, Chief, going to give us some background on that?
Yes, good evening, City
Good
Council
evening.
members, ladies and gentlemen. This is a amendment to the resolution that was passed back in 2009, September 22nd to be exact, 2009, where the city has a franchise fee with local tow companies at any time that we call for a tow company to either tow a vehicle that's been abandoned. They are on a call-out list, and they have to meet all standards set by the California Highway Patrol and all the motor carrier rules and regulations. I included in your packet just a sample of the packet that they have to fill out. The set fee back in 2009 was $1,000. When I took over the police department, I started looking at ways of redoing some fee schedules, and we've done some in the past, and so we went from $1,000 to $3,000 per tow. The ordinance and the resolution that was passed back in 2009 does allow for us to increase the franchise fee tows.
Okay.
And there it is.
All right, very good. Any comments, public comments on this?
Mr. Kim?
This is again, is showing how city don't care about the publics. They just care about the entity of the city of Calexico only. And they closed swap meet Santo Tomas year ago, and they're not doing anything. Yeah. And this is showing the how city working, and they don't care about the over 2,000 people's job, life.
Stick to the item, Mr. Kim.
I'm describing how city is bad.
Okay, but
Okay.
you wanna
Okay.
talk about the item, sir.
Yes. So I just wants to raise the fees. That's why I'm showing this, trying to say how bad city of Calexico. They have over 2,000 people's life impacting our citizens. And city of Calexico, I'm remembering Richard Warren, they were saying, oh, we are positive budget. But actually it's a fake budget. So city manager tried to looking for the money, find the fine, and
Mr.
fees,
Kim,
erasing.
You're deviating, sir.
Is it-
Are
is
you in
it
favor
relating
or
these
not in
issues?
favor of this
This
tow
is
franchise
relating
fee?
these issues. You
Well,
just get
try to
coming up.
stick to the
Let
issues,
me
sir.
talk, and then you
All right,
do
go
whatever you
ahead.
want. As a, this one, as a city of Calexico looking for the increase of fees and fines to get the more money to cover the whatever the holes. Guess what? One of the sample of the city of Amalia, they abandoned the city. A lot of people moved out because they have a less than 5,000 population. They dissolved the cities. City of Calexico's right now dying. You guys are raising everything and not care of the public. So this city of Calexico might be the second city of the people abandoning, and the city of dying. City of Calexico dying is because our council, our city is not doing their job right. Just busy to raising the fees
And
to supporting the city of Calexico, not the people. Thank you.
all right, thank you.
Mr. Hodge, can I make a clarification on
Yes, you
on
may.
that? So what this is a franchise fee. So what happens is the tow companies pay a fee to the city to be on our rotation. The tow companies do not lose any money out of this, and these are the tow companies that we call for abandoned vehicles, drunk drivers, anything where a vehicle needs to be towed. So they get on a rotation list that our computer automated dispatch automatically goes to the next one. So there's no favoritism. There's no, I'm going to choose you or another one, because when they enter, they hit the hotkey, which says tow company. It'll give, for instance, right now they'll say nice and easy. If we need another tow truck in 10 minutes, they hit that hotkey. It'll give us Antunes Tow. and so forth. It goes to we have 5 franchise tow companies with us right now. Another thing they do is if there's an accident where there's road debris, that's part of the contract. They have to clean up the oil and whatever vehicle parts are left. If they don't, we go back and we make them clean it up. So it's a franchise fee in order for them to be on our call out rotation. It's not a fee that we put on the public or the community of Calexico. It's a fee for the businesses to get that business from the city of Calexico.
Yeah. So it's more like an investment for them to be able to acquire work.
For them, it is.
Yes.
I mean, a lot of cities do that. They've been doing it forever. That's why in 2009, the city of Calexico decided to do this. I did, like in my report, staff reports, I did speak with the local tow companies, and they had no objection to it. This would take effect January 2020, and I already set up an account through finance where they're going to keep track of billing, and when they receive the bills and they receive their money, then we activate them, and they're actually now live.
I read on the backup that the towing businesses didn't protest against this increase.
Well, no, because I mean, most
They
of the times,
understand.
insurance companies pay the tow companies, so they're
Okay.
nobody's really losing any money, unless you don't. I mean,
When
you
was the
don't
last
have
time, Chief, that there was a change in this cost?
The originating time was in 2009. We haven't
So
revisited.
it's been
the
10
fees.
years?
So it's been 10
So
years.
technically, it should be like at 30% inflation national level, it should be like a 30%.
Yeah,
Which
should-
we're not even stating here.
No.
It's just-
We went with a fee that I had a meeting with all of them, and they agreed with that fee.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, very good. Thank you, Chief. All right, any more public comments on this item? No? Okay. No, not for the public.
Not for us.
Okay. That would be a burden.
Mr. Hodge, you have?
Yes. Did you have a public comment, Mr. Ortiz? No? Go ahead, Mr. Ortiz.
Estoy de acuerdo, señor. Si dice usted que desde el 2009 lo tienen ahí, tiene que haber un ajuste, estoy de acuerdo. Lo que yo quisiera saber es, ¿a nosotros los ciudadanos nos va a afectar eso? Porque a mí me remolcaron un carro y me cobraron alrededor de $700 por remolcarme mi carro de fuera de mi casa, de acuerdo. No me estoy librando, ¿no? El carro no tenía pagadas las placas, no tenía que tenerlo sobre el driveway y no lo tenía, llegó la grúa y se lo llevó. Esa es la regla, estoy de acuerdo. Pero fueron $700. Y yo, pues, los pagué, pero sí afectó mi economía. $700 que no tenía pensado gastar. Entonces, estas compañías a las que ustedes les van a incrementar el costo, ¿de qué forma nos van a proteger a nosotros? Que no incremente los costos del remolque. Porque si a mí me cobran más, me sube el precio de la carne, obvio que voy a subir mi taco. Si tú le vas a subir al costo a ellos por operar aquí, lo más probable es que vayan a subir los costos. Y para una persona que la mayoría de los que vivimos en Calexico ganan alrededor del salario mínimo, porque su mayoría es gente del campo, cóbrale $700 y no va a ser un golpe, va a ser un desmayo lo que va a recibir esa persona.
Correcto. Entonces, lo que en la ordenancia nueva o en la resolución nueva, y lo ando buscando, está donde el costo es los costos que están cobrando ahorita para que no le vuelvan a subir a ustedes.
Esa es mi pregunta.
Porque lo que están haciendo ahorita, como no se habría hecho ¿cómo se llama? Actualizado, los diferentes compañías tenían, alguien te cobraba 350 más, uno te cobraba 250, entonces todo esto queda, es $300 lo fijo que te van a cobrar por el puro jalón, ellos, y nosotros somos 287. O sea, se va a regular y va a quedar todo por escrito. Entonces, si usted va y le jalan el carro y va con la compañía y la compañía le quiere cobrar $500 por el jalón, Y los otros 500, entonces, no, usted lo habla a nosotros vamos y le decimos que no puede cobrar eso, que tiene que cobrar lo que está dicho aquí. Regulado. Está regulado. Ahorita lo que pasó que no había regularización y ellos estaban haciendo los que querían hacer. Nos dimos cuenta nosotros de eso y empezamos a hacer esas inspecciones. Suspendimos a una compañía por eso. Sí.
Okay. Gracias.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Ortiz. Chief, any more comments? No, you're fine?
No,
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
I would like to just clarify, the city is
All right,
not
go
dying.
right ahead, Mr. City Manager.
The city is changing, but it's not dying, it's changing.
Right.
And we know that from the sales tax numbers and the property tax numbers. They're going up.
Yeah, okay. Very good. Good to point that out. Okay, so we have,
I want to make a motion that we approve.
you want to improve? Okay.
So moved.
Second by Councilman Romero. All those in favor, say aye.
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 It passes unanimously. Moving on to item number 8. First Street traffic circulation change from two-way east/west traffic to one-way west traffic circulation.
Hey,
There
that's
you
me
are
again. Yeah. So on this one, because of the plans that we have for the downtown area, especially the 100 block of Rockwood Avenue, we had to come up with a way to move the taxis and the flow of traffic in a more safer and more efficient way. So we went out there and we took a look at it, and we came back and we realized that after speaking with the taxi companies and even Mr. Luis Castro, I spoke with him. We decided that it was best for us to go westbound one way, starting at Heber Avenue, going all the way to Paulin Avenue. This, like I said, would make it easier for us, as you guys see in the rendition that was done by Ivan and engineering. He points out where we're going to have you can turn southbound you can go southbound on Heber Avenue and turn eastbound on First Street, or you can turn westbound.
Okay.
But you won't be able to do it no more from Heffernan Avenue. Heffernan Avenue it's going to be just.
So just one block?
Yeah, it's just the one block, and at the same time we're going to move the taxi cabs, the overflow taxi cabs, on the south side of the 300 block of First Street, along the water tower, the GSA building.
It'll be on
Parking
that
right
side.
there. We will put some more handicap parking down the same street, and it's not going to affect any of the parking right in front of the Sam Alice store on First Street. So it's not going to impact them at all. Hopefully, we'll get traffic moving better. Rallies is going to have 2 20-minute load and unload sections in there.
Okay.
More loading sections also on the south side of the street. I already spoke to the port director, and I told him that I was going to put loading, unloading zone only in front of the port of entry. And he told me that since the street and it was ours and the sidewalk, that he could not object. So we'll be using that more to drop off the peoples. As soon as we get this passed, I'm hoping that we can start working probably after the Christmas parade with Public Works or the street department to try to close off Rockwood Avenue and get this going.
Okay. Any public comments on this item? No? Council members, anything you'd like to say for the morning?
No.
No? Okay, very good.
I think it's a great, excuse me.
Yes.
Mayor. It's a great idea. The flow will be a lot quicker, and it's going to help a lot with the taxis. So I agree with Chalo and the other.
Okay.
There's
very
another
good.
potential benefit there. If Councilman Risen's working on fixing that restroom there, the taxi cab drivers will have somewhere to use the restroom instead of.
Right.
Mr. Mayor, if you allow me.
Yes.
To
The
compliment.
Rockwood Promenade, maybe.
To
Yeah.
talk about the presentation by the police chief is, not only is it congruent with what this council has approved already along with 2 commissions regarding, as you rightfully mentioned, the Rockwood Plaza Promenade, But in addition to that, it addresses the lingering issues that have been experienced in downtown for many years regarding illegal transportation. It's not the ultimate solution, but it's getting us there. Not only that, we're also addressing, as it was brought up, some lingering issues with some of the businesses. As we all know, some of the businesses in First Street did not have the ability to have a loading and unloading zone in the back of their business, because the back of their business happens to be a federal piece of land because of the fence with Mexico.
Right.
So those things are being addressed as well that have been lingering for many years, which will also entice the additional items that we will be presenting to you in the coming meetings regarding additional resources that are being worked on to secure for the overall downtown action plan.
Thank you, Mr. Figueroa. Okay, do I have a motion for the First Street traffic circulation change?
Motion to approve?
All right, is there a
Second.
second?
Second, Mr. Rice.
I second.
All right, Mr. Reisman, Councilman Reisman. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? No objection, so it passes unanimously. Moving on to item number 9.
Thank you, Chief.
Yes. Discussion, subject matter, discussion, and potential action regarding Calexico Neighborhood House request for temporary use permit fee waiver.
Yes,
Back
Mr.
up.
Mayor, as you're aware, and all the council and we are aware, that any fees that get waived must come to council.
Yes.
We might consider in the future, if it's your pleasure, to maybe change that ordinance to allow waivers for nonprofits, charitable causes, because that's what all these ones that we're bringing to council are. But this is basically for the Christmas festival after the parade. Neighborhood House essentially is asking for a waiver.
Okay, well, they're helping us a great deal, and they're extremely important for our community. So I personally would waiver it, but
I'll make a motion.
Council comments?
well, before
Any
we
public
do,
comments?
is there any public comments? No. Okay, all right.
Make a motion that
I'll
we
make a
approve the
motion,
waiver.
Yes. Motion to
the
Neighborhood
waiver.
House request for temporary use permit fee waiver. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, Councilwoman Fernandez. Is, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Passes unanimously. Moving on to number 10. Okay, subject, approve amendment to the police chief's contract. Any backup on that?
On fire today.
Yes, Mr. Yes, Mr. Mayor. In your packet, you will find 2 letters.
Yeah, I saw it.
One letter is from the Calexico Police Officers Association, the CPOA, a letter of supreme confidence. Unfortunately, the president was unable to be here tonight. He had some issues he's dealing with. So essentially what this request is an amendment to the contract to increase from step 4 to 5, also to increase the severance from 4 months to 6 months.
Okay. I'd like to point out that I think our police chief is doing and has done an excellent job. The one sentence that struck me the most that helps the community, not only is the morale a lot higher and the department is a lot more efficient and protocol is followed, but it says, Chief Geraldo's efforts have greatly reduced the overall crime problem in Calexico, thereby enhancing the quality of life for its citizens. That ties right in with our mission statement, so I'm in favor of this action. Is anyone else want to make a comment?
Well, I would like to see, I know that Mr. Gerardo is doing a very good job, but I would like to see if other department heads also,
Yes.
we could start working.
Yes, we are doing that.
Yeah, I think that's important that we acknowledge and
Acknowledge
work
other
on that
department heads as
across
well.
the board for all departments. Okay. Anyone else? Do we have a public comment? Okay.
Mr. Kent?
All right.
Well, again, another criticism. Well, I'm not here to against the city chief, police chiefs, But I'm against the city's action to how pay attention on the management level only. We have lack of the Indians. You guys cheering all the chiefs. But we are lack of the body of the Indians to fight and to serve the community. Whatever you have a fund, you should put them more higher the people. You guys are raising the salaries to the management level, but what happened to the employees? And we don't have the people to help. We don't have bodies to help the community. And beside that, Mr. Romero was mentioning very well for the 3% quotas. What about our employees? You guys sacrificing our employees and city's service for the community and cheerleading of the only management level. That's bad. That's how mentality our city council, our city managers, and our city itself is showing they don't care of the public committee service. That's why a lot of people get anger. Whatever you guys say, oh, we are in good, we are growing, people doesn't feel they got mad on us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kim. Okay.
Mr. Luis Casillas?
Okay.
You know, Mr. Hodge, I was going to take a pass on item number 10. But you know, your comments clearly reflect the people that were here before the chief was the chief, and that was my group. And how dare you sit there and say that things are better now? How could you say things are better now when you got 22 officers on the street and you got 2 officers working at night and 1 supervisor? Do you feel proud telling your community that? Do you feel proud telling your community that it's okay to have 2 officers and 1 supervisor? And you know, nothing against the chief, but I'm appalled by Mr. Sean Acuña's comments that here he is, good for him. I mean, they got him by the string. He's on probation. Here he is lobbying for the chief of police, but he will not lobby for his own officers. Did you know that the junior officers are on a different pay scale? They're second-class officers. They don't get paid the same as a senior officer. There's 2 tiers. He should be up here speaking for those folks. And I'm glad that he's speaking out for the chief, but he needs to be up here speaking up for his people first and then for the administrators. Because being a union president is about fair wages and good working conditions and safe working conditions, and 2 officers on the street is not safe. And so you really got to look at this. You know, I've been really holding back on this, but I've got a nice stack of transcripts this big, just from our federal lawsuit, that are very interesting. And if he gets his raise, well, that's fine. That tells me that there's money to pay me. Right? Give me my $700,000 minus my deductions. But how dare you say that things are running fine now as they weren't when I was here? And 22 officers on the street for a city this big, for the amount of people that you got coming across your border every day is not sufficient. And it's unsafe for the community, and it's unsafe for the officers. And I am appalled by Sean Acuña that he should be up here standing up for his officers and for the young officers.
Thank you.
And congratulations on your raise there, Chief.
Okay. Any more public comments? Okay, thank you very much.
Mayor?
Just to remind you, you don't, I mean, I understand you were emotional, but we have microphones, so you don't have to yell so
Tone
much.
them down.
Yes, please.
Or turn it off.
No, not turn it off, just tone it down. Okay. Anybody else, comments?
I do, if you...
Okay, go right ahead.
Well, we're working behind the scenes with the CPOA. The problem we have openings for lower officers right now, but we can't fill them because the applicants are just not qualified or don't pass the psych exams, et cetera, et cetera. We're having a real difficult time. It's not just this city. You talk to the city of El Centro, they're down 11 officers. I think this...
national level thing.
Yeah, it's a national issue. We do have openings, and we're trying to fill them, but it's difficult. But the POA has been talking to me. We are talking about options on how, alternatives, how we can
Well, I think that's
better
important.
incentivize officers to want to come to Calexico. And so we are already in these discussions. We don't have to make them public yet. We're already talking about them. So that is happening.
And not just CPOA, right? I'm from what I've heard, it's also the other unions and the rest of the city employees, Mr. Dell.
Right now, we need to talk to every single union. Yes, and
About
we
raising
are already.
wages across the board.
We already started that. Part of the deal is some of their MOUs don't expire until July of next year, but we're already starting those conversations.
Good. Good. Okay. Any more comments?
You know, because yes, you have a point. I mean, you're pissed off, and we see that. And but here's the deal. I've been knowing you for many years. You've been coming to the store, and always complaining about the chief. You guys always complaining about the chief. You guys weren't united. And when you get two letters like this from the association and the advisory board, that's telling us that he's doing his job. So I'm agreeing with these people. I understand that. Okay. Well, what I'm trying to say is, if he's getting endorsed by both our, which I say the officer association and the advisory board, well then there's no question on my part. So I'm.
Well, of course, when you handpick your union representatives,
Well,
Okay, gentlemen,
okay.
we can't get in a dialogue. I'm sorry.
I want to call for the question, please.
Okay.
I make a motion that we approve Mr. Gerardo's
Okay.
contract.
So moved.
All right, that's second by Councilman Romero. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? No, it passes unanimously. Moving on to number 11, and I believe that refers to me. I have found someone, I've talked to them extensively, and I'd like to appoint Gabriel Baez to the Business Improvement District Board. He is going to be the head manager at the new Plasma Center. He's going to put his papers in. All right?
Great choice, Mayor. Great choice.
Very good. Okay, it's not here, but any future agenda items?
I would like to have I think I spoke to the chief about that, the fire extinguishers, that people are getting tickets when there's not even,
I am sorry. Mr. Kim has a comment on item 11.
okay.
Sorry, Mr. Kim.
You don't have to sort it to me, and then you have to sort it yourself, because you know how to do your job. And the other one is number 11 again. How many times you have to appoint in the same positions? And you don't understand the city ordinance. And now, it's probably not from you, and one of the city ordinance stating just one person can only hold one commissioner positions. But some of Mr. Peroni holding the two positions.
No.
Okay? Somebody involved.
Wait,
Somebody involved with this one.
That's my point.
They don't have a knowledge about the appointing at this committee, or they said, oh, as long as we're not cut, we are okay until we cutting. So if we cut, we can say, oh, mistaken. Thank you.
All right, thank you. You want to reply?
I want to reply to Mr. Pomroni relinquished his other positions as commissioner, and that's why he's a bid commissioner.
Okay.
Just put that on the record.
Any future agenda items? I'm sorry.
I said we need to address our fire extinguishers, that they're not painted, we need the red. I think I mentioned that to our fire hydrants, sorry. They're fire hydrants, there's no, they're not marked in the street.
The blue.
People are getting tickets, and you can't see them. If you're gonna park, and sometimes you couldn't even see the fire extinguisher, because you have to be, could you give us an explanation of how far you have to be?
So the way the vehicle code reads and municipal code is you have to be 18 feet offset from the center. So center, you got to be 18 feet to one side, 18 feet to the other side when it comes to fire hydrants. Even if they're not painted red, you can still get a citation, but like I told you guys before, that if there's a problem with some of the curbs, I do have some extra help people that we can probably send out there. And if there is a problem, you know, you told me of that residence, we'll make sure we get somebody out there to paint those curbs.
Yeah, we need to get that going.
Yeah. I mean, whatever we can. I mean, we've been working hand in hand with Ms. Falomir's group whenever they need help, and if I have extra people, my temporary employees, they go out there and assist us because it is a.
Or maybe you could get your kids, you know.
No, well, I mean, it's we've done explorers go out
Yeah,
there
the
and do that in the
explorers
past.
maybe, you know.
But I mean, right now, some of my temps, in order for us to issue a ticket, it's only right for us to have certain curbs painted a certain color. So that's where we come together, and I can lend her some of my temps.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, very good. Councilman Romero?
I just want to see if we can take direction on putting in the sprinkler system for the park on Canal and 98. I think it was mentioned already to our Public Works Director, if I'm not mistaken. Well, she's not here, but.
She's there.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if it was already mentioned to her, maybe. I don't know,
They
we
are
gotta go
aware.
Do it through here or through council or just through direct action?
Well, we have some, we need to get some Caltrans permits because it's in Caltrans right away, some of it.
Okay.
So I think that's what's holding us back. I think we have some of the parts already, and yeah.
Okay, thank you. That's it, Mr. Mayor.
All right. Councilman Risen?
No comment.
No future agenda items?
Well, okay. The cannabis, the permits, we give them 6 months to get started or to consummate, to finish their project, and these extensions, we have to stop giving these extensions. They have to work hard so we can start getting our tax revenue.
Maybe our plan.
So I'd like to put that on the agenda.
Report?
Oh, no, well, I can speak on that matter, Councilman. One of the things that I've requested that our contract planning consultant provide not only the Planning Commission but the City Council is a matrix of all the applications on the cannabis industry where we all know where they're at in terms of the permitting process and the construction process. I want to make sure that all of us have a live document where we know where they stand, so everybody can be in sync in terms of what to expect and by when. One of the biggest things I feel that we all need to know is when we anticipate them being up and running with their turnkey operation. We've been having some of these groundbreaking ceremonies, but at the end of the day, if we recall when this item was approved by the voters to establish a tax structure for the industry here, it was to assist for community services and the revenues that would be generated. So I think we all want to know when we can begin to see those things. So the purpose behind this request that will be done is to know when we will begin to receive those tax revenues. So it's coming for your attention at a future presentation here.
Okay, perfect.
All right, very good. Okay, I don't have any future agenda items.
Motion to
Is there a
adjourn.
motion to adjourn by Councilman Romero? Is there a second to adjourn?
Second.
All right, Councilwoman Fernandez. This meeting is adjourned, and happy holidays to all of you folks.